Everybody, as we go to the Chitas of today, we are holding in the book of Mishpatim. We are holding on chapter 23, verse number 20. I'm sending an angel before you. The Shmorcha to protect you, to guard you, Baderach on the way. And to bring you to the place which I have prepared. Now she says, over here they were informed, they were Mavaz that they were destined to sin, and that the Eibishter says that he will not go in their midst. Later on, they sinned the golden calf, and God says, "I cannot go in your midst. I'm sending an angel." Asher Chinesi, to give to you. This is simple meaning in the midrashic interpretation that I prepared. My place is already recognizable. Recognize opposite it. This is one of the verses that states that the heavenly temple is directly opposite against the earthly temple. The Eibishter says, I already established a mokim of the Beis Hamikdash because it's already established in heaven. And it's facing the Beis Hamikdash that you're going to build in Yerushalayim. Yishama Mipana, be careful from this malach, from this angel. Yishama B'Keila, listen to his voice. Al Tesamebei, do not rebel against him. Ki lo yisalav sheichem, because he will not forgive your transgressions. He doesn't have that choice to forgive you. Yishmi B'Keila, because my name is within him. Now she says, this Amer is expression rebellion, Hemara, for he will not forgive your transgression. He's not accustomed to that, forgiving, for he is of the group that does not sin. And moreover, he is a messenger, and he only can do his mission. He's a mshliach, and an angel cannot change its mission. Ishmi b'kirbai. This clause is connected to the beginning of the verse. Beware of him, because my name is associated with him. Our sages said this is the angel Metatron, whose name is like the name of the master, his master. The numerical value of Metatron equals 314. You don't usually see it. Rashi use a gematria, more of a Kabbalistic concept, and here Rashi use a gematria Metatron. There was an angel Metatron you find in the Gemara. And he's the angel of prayer also, equals to 314, which the word Shaddai, which is God's name, Shin and Dala Yud, equals up to 314. Verse 22, Kishamaya Tishma B'Keila. You hearken to his voice, Vasisa Kol Asher Daber, and you'll do whatever I said. I will hate your enemies. And I'll oppress your adversaries. Now she says the word vitzarti is like the targum, azik, and I'll cause distress. Verse 23, my angel will go before you, maybe I'll bring you to the Amorites, and I'll destroy them. Verse 24, don't bow down to their idols. Don't worship their idols. Don't do as they do. You shall tear down all the idols. You shall break all the idols, all their monuments. As he says, the gods, stones that were erected, which they prostrate themselves upon, you shall destroy. Verse 25, you should serve the God, your God. And I'll bless your food, bless my mecha and your drinks. And I'll remove all illness from your midst. And that completes the Chumash for today. We now come to the Tanya, which ends the 25th chapter of Tanya. Today we're going to end the 25th chapter. So that, at any rate, we see that the union of God with the soul that is affected through mitzvahs is eternal. When one considers that he would gladly give up his life so that not to even momentarily depart from God by practicing idolatry, he would realize that surely he ought to exert himself performing mitzvahs. If you're not willing to do an Aveda, you should run to a mitzvah, which binds him with God. So if you don't want to be separate from God, you surely want to be bound to God. You want to be part of God. Because that's nitzchis, that lasts forever. That mitzvah, hopefully the Aveda that I've done, the Eibusher will forgive me and eradicate the Aveda that I have, take away the Aveda I have for me. But the mitzvah that I do, the mitzvah, should run to do a mitzvah because the mitzvah that I do is everlasting. Alter Rebbe does demonstrate how being aware of one's willingness to sacrifice his life for God affects both areas, turning away from evil and doing good, meaning the observance of the negative and the positive commandments, respectively. It inspires you to do a mitzvah. Follows that the awareness should constantly be on one's mind, so they will always be ready to apply it to the performance of mitzvahs, which we learned yesterday. That's achana mitzvah. It's the preparation for every mitzvah. If we understand this concept, the connection, the relation, that the whole concept of Torah mitzvahs is the relationship that we have with God, the unity that we have with God. And we have to keep on remembering that. The unity and chas v'sholom, the disunity. And therefore, I run to have unity and I run away from disunity. And that's what a person should remember, because that will keep him focused on sur meirah, on going away from negativity, v'asei tov, and doing what is right. And this will understand out that Rebbe says, La matziva Moshe Rabbeinu, alav hashalom. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu, in the book of Mishnah Torah, in the book of Deuteronomy, not in the earlier books of the Torah, address the generation of Jews who wandered in the desert, but you'll find the mitzvah of Krishma at the end of the book of Deuteronomy. Likresh Krishma pamayim b'chol yom. And begged the Jews that were going into Eretz Yisrael, the generation that going into the Holy Land, to not only the subsequent generations, that they should say the Shema every day. Why did you should say the Shema every day? Not only once a day, but at least twice a day. And we say the Shema even more than twice a day. And the reason is because what is the point of Shema? The point of the Shema is lekabel olav malchus shamayim. The point of Shema is I love the Eibishter with all my heart, with all my soul, and everything I have, which is the Kabbalah el malchus shamayim, which means to accept the heaven, the yoke on oneself with self-sacrifice. The Shema teaches us to accept self-sacrifice for the sanctification of God's name. That's what you're saying in the Shema. And Moshe Rabbeinu wanted that we should say it every day, to remind ourselves in the morning, to say it again at night. Now you may ask, why is it necessary for our forefathers to prepare themselves for martyrdom? Had it not been promised, God will lay the fear and dread upon you, upon the inhabitants of the land. So why was it necessary for Moshe Rabbeinu to tell the Jews, listen, you got to remember that you are ready to go on Mesiras Nefesh. You got to remember this concept, that you're ready to go on self-sacrifice. Why? Who self-sacrifice? They're going to win every war. They had no reason to fear that anyone would attempt to force them to deny the kingdom of heaven, necessitating self-sacrifice to resist such an effort. In this sense, they were well protected as Jews who travel the desert with Moshe Rabbeinu, who were not commanded to recite the Shema. They were protected. Why you need to recite the Shema? We have clouds of glory that are going to surround you. That was what's surrounding them. Must therefore conclude that preparation for matron is necessary not only to ensure that they'll put into practice if it's necessary. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't tell them that, you know what, we have to worry about self-sacrifice. There was nothing to worry then about self-sacrifice. Baruch Hashem today, oh, well, no nation in the world is out, I don't know, whatever. No nation in the world is out to kill you. You're living in America. And Baruch Hashem, you are living in freedom. And what are you worried about self-sacrifice over here? Because the Moshe Rabbeinu knew it's not the self-sacrifice that they're going to struggle with. They're going to struggle with the goodness of the world, the pleasures of life, with the challenges of everyday life. That's going to be the greater struggle, not self-sacrifice. Because the fulfillment of Torah mitzvahs is contingent upon being constantly aware of his readiness to surrender his life for God for the sake of his unity. Not that Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to put you're going to be always in a level of self-sacrifice. People are going to want to kill you. Not true. Baruch Hashem. Beautiful times in Jewish history, and we live today in a beautiful time where we don't need to have over here self-sacrifice. But we need to remember that we are ready for self-sacrifice. We need to remember that we are ready for self-sacrifice. If we are ready for self-sacrifice, then nothing in this world should stop us. Meaning that a person remembers that he would be willing to sacrifice his life for the sake of God's unity, if the situation would warrant it, which Baruch Hashem, the situation should never warrant that you should go and self-sacrifice for God. We should not go through that again, ever in history again, that a Yid needs to go Mesiras Nefesh for self-sacrifice for God. But if you remember that you are ready to go and self-sacrifice, then nothing in the world should stop you from doing what you're supposed to do. If I'm ready to go and self-sacrifice, no pleasure in the world should affect me. No aspect in the world should affect me. It's irrelevant if I'm ready to go and self-sacrifice. Which message, and that's why the Shema is important. In the Shema, you say, I love the Eibishter. I want the connection with God. With all my heart, with all my soul, I'm ready to give. And now she translates, I feel a neitelish nafshecha, even if you would, God forbid, take my soul. We must therefore recite it twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu's message is nitzchias, because we need it more today than any other time. So the awareness will be affixed permanently in the heart and will not depart from our memory day and night. The world is irrelevant to my connection to God. Because I'm ready to give up my life for this unity, if it Chas v'Shalom comes to that. So therefore, what does the world have to do with my relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Garnish, nothing. Because this way, if you have this concept, if you understand that the unity of God, my relationship with God is my primary, I'll be able to stand neged yitzrei, against my inclination, lenatzchei, to win it, tamid, to vanquish it, b'chol esu b'chol shah, in any time, in any moment. So even after Moshe's passing, whenever Jews are engaged in intense struggle with the evil inclination, as is written, God said to Moshe, behold, you're about to sleep with your fathers, and your people will rise up and astray. In Israel, and therefore Moshe Rabbeinu realized that the Jews are going to have their challenges in Amunas Hashem. It's the way it is. We have our challenges in the faith of God. And God told them, you're going to pass away. As the generations go on, the Amunah is going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. Please remind them to say the Shema. Remind them of their commitment to God. Remind them of their real purpose, their real love. As explained in Knis Kalel, as explained above, that when one remembers that he would be prepared to suffer, God forbid, for self-sacrifice for the love of God and on behalf of God's unity, he will surely be able to overcome his evil inclination and do every mitzvah and not run away from every aveda. And that completes the 25th chapter of the Tanya. Today is Rosh Chodesh Adar, 30th day of the month of Shvat, which is from chapter 145 to chapter 140 and 50 to the end of the book. So today we finished the Tanya, the Tehillim, in chapter 145 to 150. You do the Chitas of the day. I wish you all a good and out of Shabbos. I wish you all a wonderful Shabbos. Shabbos Mavarch. It's Shabbos is Chodesh also. Tomorrow is Chodesh. Mishenichnas Adar and Marbim B'Simcha. When the month of Adar comes in, we start right away. We start to add in our joy. The Eibush should give us joy that this month should turn. It's also a month of an Ahapach. It's a month of transformation. May God give that it should be joy for each and every one of us, and it should be joy for the Klal Yisrael, the Jewish nation. We'll see unbelievable Nitzchias. Nitzchias means everlasting. Nitzchias, everlasting, eternal.
Thank you.
I hope and I pray that the transformation for the Jewish nation and everything sorrow turns into joy, and everything that everybody that's in pain turns into happiness, and every person that is confined is freed, and it's a time of joy for the Jewish nation. And we still have another Purim, another celebration of Purim, of liberation and transformation. La Yehudim Haisa Oida V'Simcha V'Sasa and V'Ikar, that by the Jewish nation was joy and happiness and gladness, and the ultimate gladness, the coming of Mashiach B'Meida B'Yameinu Mamish. Amen. May it be soon. I bless you all. Have a good Shabbos. We'll see each other. Mitzshem. Hope you learn Chitas on Shabbos. As you see, the Frierdiker Rebbe divided the Chitas that on the Shabbos he put on the leap year he put the biggest Chitas on Shabbos. It gives you more time to learn it and to sit and study it, because it's Shabbos. So you have the whole day to learn the Tanya. He made it very long on Shabbos. So shorten the week and long on Shabbos. So I hope you continue to learn the Chitas on Shabbos, and we'll meet each other on Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. We'll come together and learn again the Chitas of the day. I wish you all a Shabbos Tov, a beautiful Shabbos, a happy Shabbos, and a wonderful Chodesh,